The pledge to repeal Obamacare has been central to Republican campaigns over the last 4 national elections. But in 2018, the healthcare debate has taken on a whole new form. Obamacare, officially known as the Affordable Care Act, was passed in 2010 and was the most significant piece of legislation of Barack Obama's presidency.
In fact, for the first time ever, more than 90% of Americans are covered.
Some of you may not even remember a time before Obamacare, so at the risk of feeling old, I'll catch you up. In the olden days, 9 years ago, a health insurance company could deny you coverage because you already had an illness or injury, called a pre-existing condition. Or they would offer you a plan, but a ridiculously expensive one. Insurance companies who already covered you could also look back through your history to find some kind of illness you hadn't told them about, even something minor, and retroactively cancel your policy, right when you were really sick and needed them most. And dealing with something like cancer without health insurance is disastrously expensive.
The Affordable Health Care Act means that I have a chance.
It also made it possible to stay on your parents' health insurance until age 26, which may be why some of you haven't even had to think about health policy.
I was born with a rare congenital disease called toxoplasmosis. My whole life I've been covered by health insurance thanks to my parents.
In the years since Obamacare passed, Republicans have fought nonstop to overturn the law with both legislation and lawsuits.
The disaster known as Obamacare.
But voters have gotten pretty used to the fact that if they get sick, they won't be denied coverage or have their coverage taken away.
She will always have a pre-existing condition. I don't want to have to choose what state I live in order to get health care for her.
Protections for pre-existing conditions are very popular, and it turns out that voters trust Democrats more than Republicans when it comes to health care. So Democrats, unsurprisingly, are having a field day attacking their midterm opponents for their votes to repeal Obamacare. The Democrats have found an issue that voters care about and trust them with, so healthcare is dominating Democratic ads, with candidates sharing stories of their own health struggles and attacking Republicans. In response to these attacks, some Republicans are now trying to have their protections for pre-existing conditions and eat them too, if that makes sense. Some are introducing bills to keep pre-existing condition protections even if the ACA falls, with some loopholes. They're also releasing personal ads showing their own family members who have pre-existing conditions and pledging to protect that aspect of the ACA. In Missouri, Republican Senate candidate Josh Hawley has released an ad all about his son's pre-existing condition, while his opponent, the incumbent Democrat Claire McCaskill, is quick to point out that Hawley is one of the 20 state attorneys general who recently filed a lawsuit to overturn the ACA. Even President Trump, who signed an anti-Obamacare executive order on his first night in office, has hopped aboard the pre-existing condition train.
Pre-existing conditions we're going to take care of. We'll get a little more money from China. It'll be just fine.
Whatever that means. So here we are in 2018 with Republicans talking about a law in a way that would shock and affront Republicans of 2 years ago.
This affects every person and every family in America.
And Democrats hammering their rivals in ads which don't always paint a clear and accurate picture of their opponents' voting records. If a lawsuit or bill does end up repealing Obamacare outright in the coming months or years, taking protections for pre-existing conditions with it, there will at least be a lot of video evidence of all the politicians from both parties who said it wouldn't happen.